Hi everyone, how are you today? Are you enjoying your day? I'm over here trying to enjoy my day, and one thing that I like to do is read to you. Are you ready for your story today? Wonderful. Today's story is a paperback book. It is Strega Nona's Magic Lessons by Tomie de Paola. There's the title page, Strega Nona's Magic Lessons. Bombolona, the baker's daughter, was angry. Every day, summer, fall, winter, and spring, she had to get up before the sun to bake the bread. Then, piling the loaves on her head, she went to deliver them. But her work wasn't finished. Rushing back to the bakery, she had to mix the flour and salt and water and yeast and set the dough to rise for tomorrow's bread. "Don't forget," her father, the baker, would say, "to make the cookies and bake the cakes, and remember, Bombolona, to keep up everything spick and span. I'm going now to see my friends." And off he would go to sit all day in the square of the little town of Calabria. One day, Bombolona said, "Papa, there is too much work to do. I need some help." "Get up earlier," her father said. "But I got up now before the sun," said Bombolona, "and I'm the last one in town to go to bed." "That's the way things are," her father said as he went out the door on his way to the square. "And don't forget," he called back, "you have a wedding cake to bake." That did it. Bombolona dusted the flour from her hands and took off her apron. "I'm going to change the way things are," she said. "I'll go see Strega Nona. She's so wise. She'll help me." "I think I know how to help you," Strega Nona said after hearing Bombolola's sad tale. "So many people come to me with their troubles. I could certainly use some help. Why not stay with me and I will teach you my magic?" "Oh, Strega Nona," said Bombolona, "thank you." "We'll start today," said Strega Nona. Now, Big Anthony, who worked around the house and in the garden for Strega Nona, was listening. He was always listening to what other people were talking about instead of working. "Strega Nona," he shouted, running into the house. "Me too? Teach me your magic too." "Oh, Anthony," Strega Nona said with a smile, "I can't do that. Why don't you go and milk the goat?" Now, Big Anthony was the one who was angry. "I'll show Strega Nona," he muttered. "I'll just go and work for the baker now the Bombolona has left." Down the hill, Anthony ran. The baker hired him on the spot. "The first thing you do is mix the dough," the baker told Big Anthony. "Put in this much flour, this much of salt, this much of water, and this much of yeast." He looked hard at Big Anthony's smiling face. "Do you understand?" "The yeast makes the dough rise. Now mix it right away, and by the time I get back at 6 o'clock, the dough will be ready to make the loaves." "Si, signore." "Yes, sir," Big Anthony said, and the baker walked out the door and toward the square. "I'll just look at everything first," said Big Anthony, poking around. "Cookies!" He ate one, then the other. "Cakes!" He ate one, then the other. Big Anthony ate them all. In fact, he was still eating when the clock in the square struck 4. Ding, 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 ding. "Mamma mia!" said Big Anthony. "I forgot to make the dough. I won't rise in time. Ah, I No, the yeast makes the dough rise. I'll put in a lot more of that, and the dough will rise much faster. I'll still have time for a nap. Oh, he said when he got through. He sat down and promptly fell asleep. Oh! What a sight the baker saw when he returned. Out! Shouted the baker. What's the matter, Big Anthony? Asked Signora Rosa. The baker threw me out. Now I have no job, he answered, and it's Strega Nona's fault. I never would have left her house if she had let me learn to be a Strega. Silly goose, said Signora Rosa. Who ever heard of a man being a Strega? All of a sudden, Big Anthony's eyes lit up, and off he ran. What is he thinking now? To cure a headache, you must first fill the bowl with water, Strega Nona was telling Bombolona. Next, you add a few drops of olive oil. Then you say these magic words. Knock, knock, knock. Strega Nona went to the door. Oh, Strega Nona, said a tall girl standing there. All my life I've wanted to learn your magic. Will you teach me, please? Santo Cielo. Dear me, said Strega Nona. What is your name, my girl? Antonio, said the girl. Why do you want to learn my magic, Antonia? Strega Nona asked. Oh, so that I can help people, said Antonia. Ever since I was a little girl, I've wanted to become a Strega. Ah, in that case, said Strega Nona, come right in. This is Babylona. She is learning my magic too. To cure a headache, you must first fill the bowl with water. Oh, we already read that part. Bombolona stared at Antonia and then at Strega Nona. How nice! 2 girls to teach, Strega Nona said. She smiled at Bombolona and then she began. To learn magic and practice it well, she said, you must learn to see and not to see. You must learn to remember and to forget, to be still and to be busy. But mostly you must be able to be faithful to your work. Do you understand, my dears? See, yes, Strega Nona, said Bombolona. No, said Antonia. Where are we going to learn? When are we going to learn how to do the magic things? In time, said Strega Nona. Now let's practice some of the magic words. Repeat in right order after me. Soon Babylona said all of them by heart. Antonia kept mixing them up. Bombolona learned the cure for headaches. Antonia did not. Bombolona learned to make love potions. Antonio did not. Bombolona learned to get rid of warts. Antonio did not. Bombolona, said Strega Nona, I think you are ready now to learn more powerful magics. This is a special book. It is very ancient and contains many magic secrets. Tomorrow we will begin with it. Oh, grazie, Strega Nona, said Bombolona. Me too, Strega Nona, asked Antonia. Not yet, Antonia, said Strega Nona. You have other things to learn. That night, while everyone slept, Antonia crept into Strega Nona's house. Bambalona thinks she's so smart, said Antonia. I'll just read that book tonight, and tomorrow I'll surprise her and Strega Nona. The next morning, Antonia was looking very tired. Antonia, said Strega Nona, watch and listen. Come, Babylona, we will start. Wait, shouted Antonia. I have a surprise. I know some real magic. Watch me turn that iron kettle into a golden one. Are you sure, Antonia, said Strega Nona, frowning. Yes, oh yes, said Antonia, beginning to mutter some strange-sounding words. But she stopped. Wait, I remember now, she began again. Be careful, Antonia, warned Bambalona. Magic can't be fooled with. I've got it now, Antonia said. She muttered more words. Suddenly there was a bright flash, some smelly smoke, and the iron kettle was still there. But Strega Nona wasn't. Instead, where Strega Nona had been standing, there was a nice fat toad. Now, see what you've done, cried Bambalona. Oh, no, shouted Antonia. Oh, help, somebody, save Strega Nona. What have I done? Strega Nona warned you to be careful with magic. Now she's gone forever, Babylona said. Strega Nona, wept Antonia, picking up the toad. Forgive me, please. Bambalona, you're so clever, you're so smart. Please change her back again. I promise I'll never play with magic again. I can't change the toad into Strega Nona, said Bambalona, but I can change Antonia into... Who do you think she's going to change Antonia into? Big Anthony! Did you know? Bambalona pulled off Antonia's kerchief, and sure enough, there was Big Anthony. Oh, I'll never learn, howled Big Anthony. I'll never learn. Oh, Strega Nona. What have I done to you? Perhaps, Bambalona said, if you really promise to never ever play with magic again, that will bring Strega Nona back. Do you really think that will work? Said Big Anthony, sobbing. It's worth a try, said Bambalona. Big Anthony put down the toad. He closed his eyes tight and put his hand over his heart. I promise, I really promise that as long as I live, I will never play with magic again. Just please bring Strega Nona back. There was another bright flash, some smelly smoke, and presto! Strega Nona was back. Where am I? Said Strega Nona. Oh, I'm in my little house. Whatever happened to me? Hello, Bambalona. And why, Big Anthony? What are you doing here? Where's sweet Antonia? Tell her, Big Anthony, said Bambalona. Oh, Strega Nona, said Big Anthony, falling on his knees. He was so busy crying and talking he didn't even see the nice fat toad hopping past him out the door. Why is there a toad hopping out the door? And so, Strega Nona, please, he said, if you take me back, I promise to be good. I'll do all my chores and never play with magic again. All right, Big Anthony, said Strega Nona, smiling, but before you go back to work, change your clothes. You're wearing Signora Rosa's nicest dress. Strega Nona realized what happened. He's a little red in the cheeks. Do you know what that means? Yes, he's embarrassed that everyone figured out what magic he was trying to pull on them. I know it was a longer story, but I wanted to share with you a little bit about the author, Tomie DePaulo. His family is Irish and Italian, so he wrote over 250 stories. It's amazing in his lifetime. And he wrote for well over 50 years. And I did some research and I found out that he is named after his grandfather, and his grandfather was a storyteller. He loved to tell Irish folklores and share stories that way. And when Tomie grew up, he didn't have books like we did all the time. His stories were shared by people talking and telling about folklores and different traditions and things of that nature. And his mother used to take him to the movies. And two of his favorite movies were Sleeping Beauty and Fantasia. So he was really interested in stories that could explain things, which is what folklores do. And that's a lot of what he does in his stories that he tells. He realized when he was 4 years old, 4 years old is when he realized he was going to be an artist. How old are you? Do you know what you want to be when you grow up? I mean, a lot of people say they want to be a princess and a ballerina and a firefighter, and these are all wonderful things. And when people grow up sometimes, they change their mind. But Tomie knew at 4 years old he was going to be an artist. And he told his Italian family when they came over one time to visit that he was going to be an artist. He was going to write stories and draw the pictures for the books, and he was going to sing and tap dance on a stage. Well, he would take his sandbox and flip it upside down and get on top of his sandbox and dance on top of that. That was his stage. And I think it's absolutely amazing that he grew up and he did exactly what he wanted to do in life. And he knew so early, 4 years old, that he can remember back that far that he was going to do this. And he absolutely loved it. And he stuck with his dream. And he did it. He absolutely did it. And he spent his entire life sharing such wonderful stories. And Strega Nona, he wrote at least 8 books about. That is one of his most famous characters. And she is such a wonderful character to read about and to make voices for. I love making voices for her. So I hope you enjoyed hearing a story from Tomie DePaulo. Tomorrow I plan on sharing another story from him. So until then, enjoy your day. Share what you've learned, and maybe we'll find out one day when you get older if you follow through with what you want to do today, what you're going to grow up to be. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Bye.